Oh, sorry, sweetie. I just got back from playing all five classic Sonic games. Yes, all five, including Mania and Sonic CD. Not all at the same time, but don't test me. I just played all of them, so now I'm gonna make it your problem. That's right, I'm just gonna ramble about Sonic games. That's all this is. You're probably trying to sleep right now, but oh well. So I played all of them in order for the most part. I played 1, 2, then CD, then Sonic 3, and then Mania. And I know that, like, technically it's supposed to be 1 CD, then 2, but I tried to, like, get the best versions of each game working, and I couldn't quite get Miracle Edition or the decompiled version of Mania working, so I just settled for Sonic 2. And then I came back to Sonic CD, and I still couldn't really get them working, but I think I played Sonic 1 Forever, then Sonic 2 Absolute, and then for Sonic CD I just played the 2011 version on Steam. And then I played Sonic 3 Air, and then I played Sonic Mania Plus on Steam. And it was pretty fun. I enjoyed them all. Even Sonic 1 and CD, which, like, those were the two that I was not sure that I was going to enjoy, although I played Sonic 1 as Tails, so I could just, like, ignore a lot of the weird level design. Like, a lot of people don't like Marble Zone because there's a lot of waiting around. You have to wait around on platforms a lot. But as Tails, I just sort of flew past all of that, and it was all right. I didn't hate it. Like, I remembered hating it back when I played Sonic Classic Collection a lot on my DS, and I never finished any of those games. Um, any of the games that was on there. I mean, it had Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and, like, some extra stuff. It had, like, Knuckles in Sonic 1 and 2, I think. I might be misremembering it, but those were the ones that I played, like, back then. So it was most of them. But, yeah. I really, again, I liked Sonic 1 a lot more than I thought I would. Um, and again, it's probably just because I could ignore the weird level design, but I mean, still. Green Hill was fun, Marble was fun for the most part, and, something that, like, if you're not, like, obsessed with Sonic, like I am, there's just something that I think a lot of people don't really notice about those old games, but, at least with Sonic 1, maybe I'll think about the others a little bit more and realize, but with Sonic 1, it's, like, very, environmentalist. Does that make sense? It's like, you start out in, Green Hill, and it's, like, this big, fancy place. Not fancy, but you start out on Green Hill, and it's this big, open field, pretty much. And, like, it's big, it's beautiful. There's, like, it's a big grassland, And, it's nice. Um, and then you get to Marble Zone, and it's like, you can probably find that, like, maybe, like, people from, like, hundreds of years ago, like, made these places. Like, it's not really, like, it's not like ancient. Well, it might be ancient. I don't know. I wasn't there, but it's not like nature made, but it's not really modern either. And then you get to like Spring Yard Zone. I think that's the next zone. I'm pretty sure. And it's like that's the first place that's like, oh, this is something man-made. And it's like kind of weirder, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it exactly. I'm not good with my words, you know that probably. But that sort of like trend, it like keeps on going. And then you get to Scrap Brain Zone, and it's like sort of feels like, is heartless the right word? Either way, it's like it's like you're there and you're like, well, nothing good's coming out of this. I know that. It's like all these buzz saws and like these squishy traps. Not like squishy, but like it squishes you. Isn't there a name for that? I think there is, but you know. I think my favorite zone would have to be like, well, obviously everyone loves Green Hill, that's obvious, but like there's I really liked not Scrap Brain, that one was like kind of frustrating for me. What is it called? Spring Yard Zone, right? Spring Yard Zone is pretty fun. I know a lot of people weren't a big fan of Spring Yard Zone, but I thought it was pretty fun. Obviously, again, I was playing as Tails, so it probably had something to do with it, but you know. My least favorite zone, like obviously it has to be Labyrinth Zone, and like even Tails couldn't really save me from the frustrations of Labyrinth Zone. Keep stuttering. But yeah, Sonic 1 was pretty fun. I really liked it. Then I went into Sonic 2, and it was also just a solid platformer. I think I sort of made a mistake with it though. I made a mistake with that one, 3, and then Mania, I think. And that was, I tried to get all of the Chaos Emeralds on the first try. And I mean, like, I sort of tried it with Sonic 1 too, but it wasn't like a big concern of mine. And I did eventually get all of them, but I replayed Green Hill Act 1, and I just got the 6th Chaos Emerald there. Yeah, there are 6 Chaos Emeralds in that game. Do you know that? I think it's common knowledge, but if you're not like crazy about Sonic like I am, maybe you don't know that. But where was I? Oh yeah, the Sonic 2. I played it with the I think it's Sonic 2 Absolute. I always like mix up Sonic 2 Absolute and Sonic Forever. Those are like fan-made, like definitive versions with like mod support and all that. It's pretty cool. But anyway, Sonic 2 is good. Again, it was kind of frustrating trying to get the Chaos Emeralds on the first try, because some of those levels are sort of brutal. And like especially in Sonic Mania, but I'll get to that. And, you know, Sonic 2 is great though. Well, okay, I do have one complaint, which is Metropolis Zone. Everyone knows that. But, um, but yeah, aside from Metropolis Zone, it was just like a fun time from start to end. Um, Emerald Hill was fun. I liked Chemical Plants. Was I think Aquatic Ruin was next. It was a fine zone, but again, the Chaos Emeralds made it a little bit frustrating. And then there was this one part of Act 2 that was like really annoying. It was like there are these little spring parts. You know how like Sonic games have springs, and then well, yeah, I think everyone knows that Sonic games have springs, but then you like go up, and it's like really annoying because like there's some like mosquito enemies, and you like can't really. It's like you go up so fast and you can't really see it coming. Does that make sense? You know? So like you have to sort of predict where they are, and then sometimes they just spawn in different areas, I think. Maybe I just like wait slightly longer and then they move. I'm unsure. But either way, you can't really. It was really hard to predict it, and like there's a checkpoint right after, and I had to get there with 50 rings to get into the special stage. And so like I try that over and over again, and then I get it. And I try out the special stage, and it's like, and then I have to figure out that special stage's like pattern and all that, and I have to like, it's sort of I love Sonic 2, but man, that was really annoying. Aside from that, and then obviously Metropolis Zone, I thought everything else was fine. Nothing like really noteworthy. Like it was just a fun time. And then I think the only other thing that I have to note really is the Death Egg Zone. And it's not like a full level. It's basically like a mini boss and then the final boss, like back to back. And you have to do that hitless, which like it's really tough if you're not like really familiar and you're not like paying full attention. I thought it was really cool because like I got really frustrated and it was a very tough battle, but I never really thought that it was like I never thought that it was like unfair or like luck based or anything. It feels like it's all skill, but you have to like really get good at it, you know? You have to memorize the patterns and you have to like really pay attention and like master them, you know? And I guess that like that's sort of most games, you know. um but like I don't know. Sorry. So that was Sonic 2 for me. My favorite level was probably it was probably Chemical Plant, to be honest. I mean, I know everyone loves Chemical Plant, but it was just good. And then my least favorite was obviously Metropolis. And again, special shout out to that one part of Aquatic Ruin, but you know. And then there's Sonic CD, and like, Sonic CD is just a blast from start to finish. I don't know. I really thought that like a Sonic game that is like exploration based and like the level design just sort of bounces you around everywhere. I thought I wasn't really going to enjoy it all that much, but after playing through it, I thought it was pretty fun. I think my favorite is like hard to pick, my favorite zone from that game. But I don't know, I know for sure that my least favorite is Metallic Madness or Wacky Workbench. You might have heard of that, I don't know. Those two zones, I mean, they're like kind of infamous for being just bad. I mean, maybe not bad, maybe I just need to get better, but you know, they were just frustrating. But every other zone was pretty fun in my opinion. Um, Sonic ZD is like, it's a game that's like, you know how most Sonic games are like, you know, they're sort of like point A to point B, you know? You have to just get through the level. And there are a lot of like branching pathways and stuff like that. But for the most part, you don't really need to go through any one of them. But Sonic CD is very much like there are a bunch of pathways, and like it's sort of, people sort of describe it as like a labyrinth, not like Labyrinth Zone, but very labyrinth-like level design where like you just have to poke around until you find signposts and like these enemy generators. And there are two, okay, there are two kinds of signposts in Sonic CD, and they take you either to the past or to the future, and you need to hit one of those, and then you have to build up a bunch of speed and then keep that speed. And then once you've done that, you travel it through time, and you go to like a past or future version of that zone that you're in. And like the past zones are like usually kind of peaceful, you know. Again, I can't really describe, I'm bad at describing things, but you know, it's the past, like before Eggman got to it and like started putting like his generators up. Well, there are generators in the past, and that's the point of going to the past. You have to go to the past and you have to hit those generators and then destroy them. And then if you go to the future, then it's like all peaceful and stuff, and you've made a good future in that place. And it's cool. I really enjoyed it. And then if you don't though, you get the bad future, and you know, I don't think I've ever actually seen any of the bad futures. I mean, of course I have, but like in other people's playthroughs, because like in all the other times that I've played Sonic CD, I haven't really ever bothered with the time travel or the exploration, and maybe that's why I never really got into it before, because like that's a big part of the game, is time traveling and like doing all that stuff. You really have to be in the mood to do all that if you want to like enjoy the game, because that's how it was built. It wasn't built like every other classic Sonic game where you just go to the end of the level. But you know, I enjoyed it though. It was just fun. The soundtrack of Sonic CD is also just amazing. I don't think I've really mentioned the other soundtracks. Like, all of the Sonic soundtracks are good. I can't really think of, well, Dark Brotherhood and the Sonic Boom games like don't really have that great of soundtracks. Dark Brotherhood is like, Welcome Old. It's like that. And then Sonic Boom. Not the song from not the song from Sonic CD. I mean like the game Sonic. The game Sonic Boom. But yeah, those game soundtracks were just like boring. I don't know. I'm sure that I've heard a lot of songs from those games, but I just don't remember like any of them. I do remember one, and that's because like I had a Sonic CD theme on my 3DS, and themes are like wallpapers. And then they also like come with music and sound effects and all that. I think I remember one Sonic Boom song because it was trapped in my 3DS. But aside from that, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the soundtrack. Okay, so every Sonic game's soundtrack is good for the most part, but like Sonic CD especially is just like I don't know, man. There are two soundtracks. Like for some reason there's an American soundtrack and then there's the Japan soundtrack. And I played with the Japan soundtrack. I don't think I've ever heard any of the songs from the US soundtrack, but I've heard that it's also good. But oh man, I don't know if anything's gonna compare to the Japan soundtrack because it's so good. So then I played Sonic 3 and it was very good. I think Sonic 3 is like everybody's favorite. I think Sonic 3 is like everybody's favorite, but I mean it was a great game, don't get me wrong. I just think I preferred Sonic CD a little bit more, which is kind of weird. I expected, maybe it's because I had my expectations really low for Sonic CD, and then I just sort of like when you set your expectations like really low like that, you kind of like going into a game, you sort of enjoy it a lot more than like if you just sort of than if you go in with like really high expectations and then it's like alright, But yeah, I don't know. Sonic 3, it was really good, just like I guess I didn't really enjoy it as much as everyone else did, but it's not to say it's a bad game. It's a pretty good. Levels were pretty good. I think I really liked I think my favorite is Hydrocity or Hydro City, whichever you prefer. But oh, I also played, I think I already said this, I played Sonic 3 Air or Angel Island Revisited, which is like a fan like enhanced version of the game, and it was pretty good. I played with this one mod that like gives all the levels unique weather effects. So like the first zone was like all rainy and stuff, and then well that is until the fire parts where the whole island is set on fire, That's what happens. But Lava Reef was like all foggy and stuff, which was pretty cool. I kind of wish it wasn't like that for Hidden Palace Zone, but it's okay. I had the option to turn that off, I just forgot about that. But I also had this mod that made getting through the special stages way, way easier, and I am so thankful for that, but it's like, it's just a retry button. You know, again, I think it was a mistake, like, going for the Chaos Emeralds on my first playthroughs, because, like, on your first time through, those are, like, so difficult, and then once you get done with all of them, then the main game is just a breeze. And I mean, there's still fun to be had in that, you know? There's still fun to just completely demolish games with, like, really overpowered abilities and stuff. Supersonic and hypersonic are pretty cool, you know? But I still think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more if I just played through the levels, you know? But other than that, I really don't have a lot else to say. Oh, yes I do. Hang on. I think it's really cool how they I think it's really cool how they like had this whole story with like no dialogue or anything in like back in the 90s. I think it's really cool how they had this whole like big story. And I mean, like, it's not really all that much by today's standards, I guess, but like back in the 90s with like no dialogue or anything, it's just you're watching things unfold and you still like know exactly what's happening. I think it's pretty cool. I don't think you've played Sonic 3. Well, you might have, I don't know, but it's really cool, I think. I guess I didn't have that much more to say about it, but yeah, I really enjoyed Sonic 3. My favorite stage was Hydrocity again, and then I don't know what my least favorite would be. Maybe Marble Garden Zone. But yeah, it was just a good game. And then I played Sonic Mania, and man, I get the hype now. That game is amazing. I hear a lot of people complain that that game didn't really innovate a lot, but I think that's fine. Because, you know, they might have only gotten like 3 new zones, but the zones that are in the game still, they're still pretty good. I mean, I think that it's weird that they picked to bring back Oil Ocean, but that's fine, I guess. It's a fun enough level. Plus, you can like set on a fire if you like. If you grab a fire shield. It's pretty cool because like you can just like go whoa, and like everything's on fire, and it's like whoa. I like setting things on fire. Anyways, I don't know what my favorite zone from Sonic Mania would be because they're all really good. Maybe Studiopolis. That zone is just fun. Studiopolis is one of the new levels, and it's like a movie studio like city, if that makes sense. I don't know exactly how to describe it. Again, I'm bad with my words, but I'm really bad at describing things, you know. But it's just really fun, and like the music's really good. And, oh man, the music in Mania is like amazing. I think it's really inspired by Sonic CD actually. That's like the most comparable thing, I guess. Oh, I didn't mention it before, but in Sonic 3, I really like Ice Cap Zone. Ice Cap Zone is really cool. It's like a big snowy level, and like the music's really cool, and like you go inside this snowy mountain, and I don't know. I guess I don't really have a lot more to say about that. I just wanted to bring up Ice Cap Zone because I think I forgot about it. Anyway, back to Sonic Mania. Where was I? Studiopolis, right? It's just a really fun zone. I don't know. This whole time I've just sort of been saying this thing's really cool, but I don't know. I don't really have a lot else. It's not that I don't have a lot else to say. I guess it's more so that I'm just bad at talking. That's okay. You know, I just want to talk, even if I'm bad at it. I hope you don't mind that. But Sonic Mania, music's really good. The levels are pretty good. I mean, again, I went for all the Chaos Emeralds, and some of those emerald locations were really difficult to get to. It's particularly in Stardust Speedway. I feel like that zone was like, if you're going for the Chaos Emeralds, it's sort of like all the complaints I heard about the original Sonic CD, which is kind of weird. Because, like, you'd think they would improve on that, but, like, I think I had an easier time with the original game than I did with that part in Mania. That's like, you know, they took Stardust Speedway from Sonic CD. Did I mention that? I think I did, but anyways. Yeah, Stardust Speedways from Sonic CD. And then, like, it might be my least favorite part of Mania. It's either that or Green Hill. I mean, I like Green Hill. I think everyone likes Green Hill, but, you know, I've just played it so much that, like, I'd rather play other stages for once. Let me tell you, when I was a kid, when I was, like, just playing those games on Sonic Classic Collection, I used to just play Green Hill a lot. Was that in Spring Yard Zone, I think? Those were the two that I played the most. But, that's about it, really. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Well, if I don't have anything else to say, I guess I'll spare you ears a little bit more. You can go to sleep now. Sorry. Good night.